Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's #1 community for brilliant childcare leaders. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches, best-selling authors, and have personally helped thousands of childcare owners around the world achieve incredible growth. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, Brian and Karter Duprey.
Episode 5 of the Childcare Genius Podcast.
We're your hosts, Brian and Karter Duprey. Before we begin, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode of the Childcare Genius Podcast. We want to thank you so much for tuning in to our podcast. Before we get started, we want to tell you about an amazing offer we have for listeners of our podcast. We want to give you a copy of our new book, as you can see right here, The Art of the Tour. Just pay $4.99 for shipping, and we'll autograph the book, send it to you for free. This is for the continental U.S. only. This is the Childcare Millionaire Tour Secrets book. We rebranded it, called The Art of the Tour, to fit better our brand in Childcare Genius. So if you want a copy of The Art of the Tour, it's all about how to have the most amazing tour in your childcare center. All about everything, beginning of the tour, the phone call, everything that goes in, the follow-up, how to have the best conversion rates you've ever had with a tour. So if you want a copy of this book, again, how do they get a copy of it, Carol?
Just visit childcaregenius.com/books to get your copy today.
Yep, just go to our website. Again, childcaregenius.com/books, and you can order your copy today. Again, $4.99. Just pay for the shipping, and we'll autograph and send it to you for free. So you're in for a treat today. Our guest on the podcast today is Linh Nguyen. Linh is the owner of Karter Schools. Karter with a K. She launched Karter Schools in 2019, and in 3 short years, this is amazing, she grew the business to 3 locations, serving over 500 children and doing over $10 million a year in annual revenue. And her goal is to build a $100 million childcare empire.
Her schools are the most beautiful I've ever seen.
I know, they're absolutely stunning. It's like walking into Walt Disney World, and it's magical. It's a magical experience. I can't wait for our listeners to hear all about Karter Schools. Now, I personally coach Linh, helping her to grow and expand her business. She has one of the brightest business minds I've ever met in our industry, and it was such a pleasure to coach her and watch her business explode.
Get ready to learn from an amazing early childcare business leader.
All right, let's get Linh on the line. Hi, Linh. Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Brian and Carol.
Oh, it's so nice to have you on. It's been a little while since we've talked. You know, we've known each other for years, and you're one of the people I admire most on the planet. You're one of the smartest business minds in the whole childcare industry. I love talking to you. Where are you talking to us from today?
I am from Northern Virginia, near the Dallas airport.
Oh, so you're near DC. And
Yes.
What's the weather like down there this time of year? Is it kind of hot?
It is hot but beautiful.
But
I
beautiful?
I love the summer in Virginia. Yeah.
Probably much better than the winter down there. We used to live in Virginia. We lived in
Oh,
Virginia Beach for 6 years, and
right.
the summers were nice, hot from what I remember. But your summers are definitely longer than the main summers, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our main
Yes.
summers are like 3 or 4 days long. You know, it's pretty short. At least it feels that way sometimes. Well, we're excited to have you on and share your vision of where you're headed with your school. You have one of the fastest growing brands in all of America right now, in the childcare brand, and we want to share with our audience how you've done it, because there might be somebody out there that wants to not copy you, but do something similar, maybe not as big, but definitely grow a little empire. I mean, you have just amazing goals and dreams. So we're going to start off with asking you some questions, put you in a hot seat. And I cannot wait for our listeners to get to know you like we've gotten to know you in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Linh, can you tell our listeners how you got into the childcare business?
Ooh, That's a good question. I got into the childcare business because of my children. I was my husband and I, we were both working, and I was looking for a specific things for my kids. I wanted a place that mom, like me, busy mom and dad, like myself and my husband, can drop off and not have to worry about anything. So it's a place of, it's beautiful, magical, clean, safe, yet my kids can learn public speaking, coding, and all of the wonderful things that I have to drive them to, 10 other places. I just want to have all of those in one place. And at the time, it was pretty uncommon to teach children how to code as early as 3, not using screen. So, and we can talk more about that, that I spent quite a bit of time researching and building my own curriculum to implement STEM at very, very early. We're talking about like over 10 years ago.
Wow. Now, Lynn, you have an amazing educational background. So you went to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. You're very highly educated. And how do you think that's important to STEM that, you're talking about STEM. Why is that important for brain development for youngsters? Why did you incorporate that in your schools?
Um, I think I think STEM is a way to merge the creative side of the brain and also the analytical side of the brain. And so when children as young as infants to 5, that's the time where you have the most optimal opportunity to increase those brains connections, the synapses. So by introducing STEM early on, you have the ability to maximize the kids' brain development, not just STEM, but a combination of everything. It's a combination of, the way that movement from your left side to the right side, there's a lot of research into the curriculum that we do. So that's one, maximizing brain development. 2 is to really understand what their true potentials are. So kids, when they're young, they are the perfect age to have, they don't have influence of the world. So that's a place where you help somebody to dream big. And when they look back, they say, oh my gosh, I remember when I was 5 or 6 or something like that, that I used to paint, I used to do this, I used to dance, I used to do that. And I think when I look back at my younger self, how I'm able to now become who I am, that's when I'm much younger. I was doing art. I love art, yet I still love the engineering side of things, building things. So now I'm combining both the art side and the technical side.
That's awesome.
And I want to give that to, to other children.
Sure. So let's talk about your brand that you built from the ground up. When I remember
Yes.
you telling me about what your goal was, we met back in 2018 and 19. You had this vision. And I remember you sharing with me. And I can't say that I didn't think it was a little far-fetched. I'm like, this, I just couldn't wrap my head around a childcare center that remind me of Walt Disney World when you walk in. And that's exactly what you've built. So tell our audience about the Karter School brand, which is bloody amazing, as Nick Williams would say.
So the Karter School brand, the aesthetic of it is it's a magical place. You walked in and you feel like you're in Disney, but yet it is calming. It's a combination of a beach home that is very relaxing, beautiful, calm color, and the design that is like children dream. You walking into a dream. When I build the Karter brand, I think of myself when I was younger and what kind of place I want to be in. I'm excited going in to that place. So when you look at Karter, every piece of Karter is like Disney meets Ritz-Carlton meets beach home.
And I know you probably have that wow factor. We always talk in Talker Genius about wowing parents. I
Yes.
bet you when people walk in, you've probably heard quite a few wows over the last few years, like, wow, this is where my kid's gotta go every single day. Do you have a lot of that wow factor?
Yes, I think that's if I achieve that and we achieve it consistently is when the parents walked in, the aesthetic of the school, the way it looks, just everything, the physical space, gonna have to wow our parents. And so every project I go into, that's what I'm trying to achieve. And none of my projects looking the same because I'm going back to my childhood, building a space that, like, if I have to dream it, if I have like a wish list of everything, what would it look like? So my new project is a Gainesville location, and we have a phenomenal backyard. So I thought, you know what, I want to bring the outdoor in, which is, so when you walk into my Gainesville location, it is a magical garden. And it's so I can't wait to reveal, but the outside we would have like a resort looking style, but you shrink it down to kid size. So instead of like a typical water park where you have stuff popping up, it is look like a nice pool. It's not a pool, it's a water spout, but yet you have cabana, you have, just really the detail execution is like a resort, but you shrink it to the kid size. And then they
Wow.
walk across this koi pond, this like a Japanese bridge, right into this beautiful petting zoo. So like these are things, if I'm a child, that's what I'm looking to do.
That's magical, Lynn. Oh my God, that's
Yes.
I
amazing.
love that.
And if people want to see what one of your schools looks like, do you have a, like, a website, like a 3D tour, somebody could see what this is like?
Um, yes, I
Big
have.
pictures.
I have some of the. So the two schools I have, we have a video of that, and the Gainesville location. We are in the process of renovating the space. I bought an existing Montessori school, and we are. So we are the way Carter run Montessori. I call it elevating Montessori. So Maria Montessori developed the program about 100 years ago, and she was a pioneer. She was a physician and all of that. So I say, if Maria Montessori were to live today, what would that look like? What would that curriculum look like? She would embrace robotics. She would embrace public speaking. She would, would do a lot of the things that would develop the soft skills for the kids. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to innovate
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
Montessori brand.
What is your website that they can go see what your school would look like?
It's carterschools.com, and Carter is with the Karter, yeah, Carter Schools.
KARTRschools.com. We will put that in the show notes for our audience.
Great.
All
Thank
right.
you.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about Carter Equity and what that business does?
Yes. So Carter Equity is I'm growing Carter School vertically. So what that means is anything involving the business of childcare, like real estate development, triple net leasing, and furniture. So anything in that vertical space for childcare, we acquired. And then I'm also, so real estate development, and then I'm also in the medical space as well. We are buying businesses in the medical space because people that work in the medical field have very similar characteristic that people work in childcare. So we thought that was a good alignment for us to invest in.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, we
Yeah.
we have a lot of real estate as well. It's a great diversification with childcare, but I'll have to look at the medical side. I like that. So we're gonna have to talk.
Yes.
I'll learn from you for sure. So a couple years ago, I started coaching you, and I was your
Yes.
coach for a couple years, and we worked one on one very closely together. And what do you think is the biggest thing you got out of one on one? Because obviously you're much smarter than I am.
No.
What did you get out of coaching with little old me? I'm not an MIT grad. I barely got out of high school. What did you get out of learning with Coach Brian?
I think, well, what I got out of you is who you are as a person. You are incredibly kind, real. You have a mindset of a warrior. I think being around you and Carol helped me understand the balance, building a business yet still have a strong marriage, family life. You are incredible at helping me understanding um, the tax components of business. Like, what can I do? I think we were, we were brainstorming, and you were giving me tip and bits of how to maximize our financial component of things. And thirdly, I think you have a vast network of people, and you introduced me to one of my good friend now, um, Julie Roy. So she and I, we talk every week, and because of that network of people that you helped me with, like I was looking for expansion. You say, you know what, let me connect you with Julie. She's awesome at that. And for that, I'm forever grateful for all of the things that you help grow me as a person and also as an entrepreneur.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Julie, because she's, again, one of the smartest business minds I've ever met. So it's, of course, naturally that you gravitate to her, one of my most amazing people that I admire. And you guys can sync right up in that. And thanks for the kind words. It means a lot to us. And it goes to show you coaching helps, you have the ability to, I knew you had $100 million brand in you. And it's all about help with coaching. You help people bring out the best of themselves. And you were just an amazing student. And I learned just as much from you as you learned from me, and we're able to sync. And I'm so proud of what you've become. I mean, you're building the most amazing brand I've seen the childcare market to come out in ever. And it's just truly astounding what you've done in the last 3 years.
Thank you.
I'm actually, I can't say that I can't believe it, but it's almost unbelievable how amazing you've done during a pandemic, mind you.
Yes, I think we picked the wrong time to start launching the brand. We launched it in November of 2019, and then like few months prior to COVID. And I can't do it by myself. I have to give majority of credit to my team. I have an incredible team that able to help me build my dream. And so I think it's important for me to give them the credit they deserve. I can't build $100 million brand without a strong team behind me.
100%. All right. So in the last 3 years, you've built a $10 million childcare business. What advice do you have for someone who wants to build a childcare empire? Maybe just even a $1 million childcare empire. What advice could you give to help somebody with that?
I think first, having the right mindset and really hone in to what is it that you love and you're excited to get up every morning, because I guaranteed you every business owner out there would face tough time. And understanding that driver within you when you face tough time like a pandemic, you're gonna need to be the person that sell it to your team, that really inspire them. And I think that having the skill set to communicate your vision to your team, understand the people component of the business, and that vision is so clear and you're so passionate about, like that passion, that like burning desire that I'm gonna do this no matter what. Like it's I think that's what help you get through it. Of course, having the acumen, business acumen, and the fastest way to get to where you need to be, and where you need to be is finding the right coach and the right team of people supporting you, because you don't have to make those mistakes, and finding the right team of people that you associate with, like other childcare business owner. I think that's, that you can find the support, you can find ideas, you can collaborate, find the group of people that will inspire you. I think that's, so that's what I would recommend.
Love that, Lynn. I mean, that was fantastic. Tiger Woods has a coach. Tom Brady
Yes.
has a coach. The best and brightest goats, greatest of all times, have somebody to make them better. And you are
Yes.
great, but everybody could be a better improvement. And sometimes we don't know we have the seeds of greatness in us until somebody helps pulls them out. So that was great.
Yes.
I have a coach, and that helps pull the greatness out of me as well. So awesome.
And I have several coaches, in different aspect of my life. Like I have a health coach, I have a process system coach, I have a marketing coach, so because I want to move fast. I didn't want to take the next 5 years to figure out how to do marketing. I wanted to do it in 6 months. So I hired the best coach out there in the business to help me get there.
For the record, I'm not her health coach. Nope.
So, Lynn, we have a mindset question for you. What do you do to relax and unwind?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I do transcendental meditation, and I do that twice a day to help calm my brain down. And then I set one day of the week that I'm not taking any phone call, I'm not doing any business, and it's just me day. So I'll go to the spa, I do whatever Lynn's want to do. So that's self-care, and I reserve that every week, one day for myself. And so to relax, and then I love reading. So I read nonfiction books.
I love that. And so you're like the Energizer Bunny. You remind me of Julie Roy a little bit. It's the Energizer Bunny. It's always
Actually,
go,
she
go,
and I
go, go,
exactly
go.
the same. We were
Exactly
talking to each
the
other,
same.
and we were like, it's
Ba-ba-ba.
kind of scary how the way we think. Like the minute I think of something, say, "Oh, I have that idea," or vice versa. I mean, we so much alike. Yes.
Sorry, Julie, we're talking about you here, but you remind me so much of her. You guys are just brilliant. And yeah, you did go mile a minute. So I'm glad you get some time for Lynn to relax and unwind, and you probably do some of your best thinking after you have that unwind time.
I do, and I have I have a dedicated thinking time where I would just get a pad, like a notebook pad, and I dedicate about, I would say, early morning, where I do an hour of just deep thinking. I write down, I just kind of do a brain dump, I write down my idea, and then the next one, the idea completed, I put my pen into the next line. So it's forced my brain to like really work on what are the best ideas out there. And from there, I go back and I circle the things that I focus on, and I would hand it to my team to implement.
Wow, that's boy, this is gold. I love this episode. So each week we get questions from our audience and that people need coaching, and a lot of times we'll save these questions for our guests. So we've got a question that came in from John from Tennessee, and I saved that question for you, Lynn. It says, "Dear Brian and Carol, is now a good time to expand my business? I have 2 centers now, but I'm worried about a recession. Should I wait until property values come down?" What would you tell John?
I think any time is a good time to invest in business, and any time is a bad time to invest in business. You have to really understand your market. So the way you go about researching if there is a demand for that market, it's just check your competition. Do they have a wait list? Is the elementary schools around? Are they full? Are they over capacity? How are they doing? So understand your market. If market has a need, if the market has a need, then you ask yourself, okay, if there is if the recession is coming and my business going to have a 25% hit, let's say, do I have the cash flow to support that? So understanding your cash flow, or do I have a line of credit for that dip that I'm going to take? And thirdly is understand your why. Why do you want to expand? Let and understanding that why, and go back to that burning desire of knowing your why. And it cannot be just money, because money is not enough of a force to pull you and your team when that recession hit, or when things gonna get tough, because it will get tough regardless of you're in a recession or not. So I think those are so going back to so the fourth thing I would say is, do you have the team for the expansion? Right. So if all of those components is a yes, then I say go for it. And if some of those components, especially cash flow, is not there, I would really rethink.
Good. Well, that was a great question. I think John will help out. And you're right. It's all depending on market. There's so many different questions to answer. And it's really hard to have a generic blank answer to everybody when it comes to expansion, because it's definitely not for everybody. And it all depends on, you're right, cash flow is so important with expansion, because I've seen some businesses expand without proper cash. They're undercapitalized, where if they were properly capitalized, they would have been successful, and they weren't successful because of that. You have to be able to have the ebbs and flows. And without cash flow during a recession, you're definitely in trouble. So just everything you just said, I echo 100%. And I'm telling you, I have learned a lot from you, Lynn, here today. Let's not let so long pass between speaking again. I can't wait to talk to you. We're going to definitely plan some brain dump time together and talk to each other. Want to thank Linh Nguyen for joining us in the Childcare Genius podcast. Lynn, how do they reach you? KarterSchools.com, KARTER schools.com is how they reach Lynn, and get to see a little bit about the amazing brand you've put together. And thank you so much for gracing our listeners with your knowledge and experience.
Thank you, Brian. You're so kind. And I look forward to see you and Carol soon.
You bet. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Wow, Lynn is amazing.
I just cannot believe that is one of the best podcast interviews we have ever done. This girl is just, the way she thinks is just mind blowing, and I just love her. She's one of the smartest business people I've ever met. And again, she's so educated and just really thinks of things so differently. It's like on a different plane. She has a big heart, though, and she wants to make a difference in children's lives. And I just love spending time with her. She's just amazing. How do you think our audience would like to be coached by us? Each month, we like to select one person and give them a free 1-hour coaching session to help to grow their business.
This is our way of giving back to the childcare community that's been so good to us.
Yeah, we want to give back. This is our chance to say thank you to the community. So each month we'll randomly pick somebody who wants a coaching session. So if you register, we'll pick one person every single month. Just go to childcaregenius.com/coaching and register. And if you don't get selected this month, your name will stay in there, and every month. And some months we might do 2 or 3. It all depends on what our schedule's like, but at least we'll guarantee one. And it's our chance to help to childcare community and give back. This is a free call for sure.
And this concludes episode 5 of the Childcare Genius podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode. And we'll see you again real soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help your childcare business grow. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.